Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this series, we're going to be going over Pluto in the houses, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about the final house, the spiritual house, 12th house. So having Pluto in your 12th house. And before we go over that, I just want to remind you guys, if you're interested in having a personal astrology reading with me, birth natal chart readings, including tarot, you could book one with me at samastroreadings@gmail.com. Email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com and we could go forward with that. Okay, so going back into Pluto in the 12th house. Yeah, the first thing I can say about Pluto in the 12th house is that this placement, a lot of people can have a lot of traumatic dreams and like a traumatic kind of like dark emotional imagination, okay? And that sounds like a lot, but it deals with a lot of times our imaginations, our dreams, okay? But when you have Pluto here, our imagination, your dreams could be very dark, very traumatic, okay? Very vivid, dark dreams. People with Pluto in 12th house can have very scary dreams, you know, growing up, even as a child. They could have had lots of nightmares, worries. Their imagination can go to some of the worst, darkest thoughts, okay? You know, again, with that Pluto energy. So a lot of times your imagination, your creativity has a darkness to it. And that can be due to trauma, which we'll get more into. But a lot of that trauma stays in your subconsciousness, okay? It's deep because you got to understand 12th house is the most sensitive houses. Like, it absorbs all energy. So with Pluto causing trauma into your life, especially into the 12th house of your dreams, your subconscious, okay, a lot of your trauma is kind of stuck with you subconsciously, and you can dream about it, you can imagine it. A lot of this also has to do with the fact that wherever planet is in the 12th house, we could tend to not be consciously aware, okay? A lot of things are happening subconsciously, behind the scenes, okay? So with this, like subliminally, so like with this, a lot of your dark thoughts, a lot of your trauma that you've gone through, a lot of it kind of stays subconsciously with you, and they pop out in the weirdest way, like in your dreams. So until they're aware of it, they're going to deal with lots of dark thoughts and imaginations and dreams that are very dark and could be scary, could be terrifying, could be very depressing to have these like kind of dark emotional energies surrounding you. But once you're aware of them, you can have better control of them and a better understanding of why they're even here and where they're coming from. Therefore, that's how you'll have the power. But that is about the 12th house. You want to bring awareness to any energy in the 12th house, and Pluto is no different. So with the trauma and all those dark thoughts and imaginations, you can have better control over this energy if you bring more awareness to your trauma so that they're not haunting you subconsciously and coming out in your dreams and coming out in random triggers, you know, and coming out just out of nowhere, okay? Have awareness of this, because that awareness is going to give you control, okay? It's going to give you control and clarity as to where these energies are coming from, and you're not going to feel haunted by these dark, you know, emotions that you simply need to address. Also, with Pluto in the 12th house, it can feel like you're being spiritually attacked, okay? And what I mean by this is with the 12th house, again, it deals with the spiritual world, okay? It deals with things that are superstitious, things that we consider magical, things that we consider supernatural, okay? So a lot of activity in the 12th house is operating on a very mystical, spiritual level. When you put Pluto in here, adding all that trauma and dark emotions and stuff like that, a lot of things can happen to you spiritually in the 12th house. But with Pluto here, it could be traumatic, it could be negative, it could be an emotional obstacle, okay? And because it's coming to you in a spiritual level, it could be very confusing. Again, the 12th house, very subconscious, very unaware. So because it's having spiritually, it could feel like it's a curse, because spiritual attacks are not necessarily practical. Okay, they're not necessarily easy to see. Okay, that's why we call it superstitious, because we can't necessarily explain them, even though it's so coincidental. It's such a coincidence. So, having energies attack you on a spiritual level can feel like you're being spiritually attacked. A lot of people with Pluto in 12th house can feel like they're cursed or they have bad luck. And again, yes, it can feel this way because the 12th house is very spiritual. It's hard to understand. It can feel very supernatural. So you could feel like you're cursed. But the cure to this, again, into the 12th house is bringing awareness. Okay, so if you are aware, okay, of your negative energies and how they can manifest spiritually, you have more understanding and clarity and control over these negative energies that feel like negative attacks, but really they're emotional, spiritual obstacles that you have to overcome. Okay, Pluto in 12th house, very spiritual, but also very traumatic and emotionally challenging. Okay, so instead of feeling like, oh, I'm just cursed, random things happen to me, I see a sign somewhere, and then all of a sudden something negative happens to me correlating with that sign. Instead of looking at it like that, like I'm being spiritually attacked, look at it as I have a spiritual challenge to overcome. And instead of being caught off guard all the time, use your intuition. Okay, you're a 12th house person. Use your intuition. Even Pluto's intuitive too. And you have this energy. Use your intuition to catch the flags, catch the red flags, catch the warnings so that you are prepared. Okay, and all of that is going to take awareness. Again, Pluto in 12th house people, if you guys are not aware of your power, you're going to be dominated by it. It's simple as that. Pluto is very black and white. 12th house is very spiritual, very gifted, but very subconscious. So again, if you're not clear on the fact that you're spiritually gifted, if you're not understanding that you have emotional, spiritual obstacles to overcome, if you're not using your intuition to check out these obstacles, to seek them out, to see them before they come, you're gonna feel like a victim. You're gonna feel cursed. You're gonna feel attacked. You're gonna feel blindsided spiritually all the time. So it's very important as Pluto in 12th house people, instead of feeling like a victim, do the one thing I keep telling you. Be aware of your spiritual gifts. Be aware of your Pluto in 12th house, okay? Just watching this video is gonna help you. Be aware of it so that you have more clarity and that you can control your reality and you don't feel like your reality is controlling you, okay? Because you have the power. You really do. I'm telling you, Pluto in 12th house, very intuitive people. You have the power to seek out these spiritual attacks, to see when they're coming, to understand why they're even coming, and to kind of have this control over your reality and not be caught off guard. But if you're not aware that you have these emotional obstacles to spiritual obstacles to overcome, if you're not aware that you are spiritually gifted and you can see these coming, if you're not aware that you have Pluto in 12th house and you have a karmic duty to overcome spiritual obstacles and to be more intuitive and discern about these spiritual energies and be aware of them, you're going to fall victim to this and you're going to feel like a victim. You're going to feel spiritually attacked until you take your power back. So Pluto in 12th house is very tricky because Pluto in other houses, they're definitely challenging as well too, but at least you can see them. At least they're very conscious and more upfront. Whereas with the 12th house, it's the most secretive house. It's the most subconscious. It's the most confusing. So if you're not bringing your clarity, you're really going to feel a victim. And you're not supposed to. With Pluto in 12th house, you're supposed to have power over spirituality. Okay, you're supposed to have power over this energy that you have. These gifts, these spiritual gifts that you have, you're supposed to have power over them. Okay, it's Pluto. But Pluto's going to take your power first to motivate you to take your power back. Brings me to my next point. Super intuitive. Pluto in the 12th house people, you guys are super intuitive. Okay, this is why it's very important to understand this. And I always say God never gives you a battle or an obstacle that you cannot overcome. People with the strongest obstacles also have the strength and the endurance to handle them. So you're never given something you can't handle. So Pluto in 12th house, like I said, anywhere Pluto is in your charts, this is a karmic lesson you need to learn, a very deep one with challenges. So if you know that you're super intuitive, which is definitely a huge trait with Pluto 12th house, This is going to help you. This is going to help you be able to be in tune and see the demons that are kind of like hiding and haunting you and attacking you. Okay, and I'm speaking figuratively, but honestly, literally is the same thing too, because again, consciousness is clarity, and that's how you bring clarity. And being super intuitive, you're going to be able to do that. You're going to be able, you have the abilities to see, to feel energies, to be in tune with them, so that you're not caught so off guard. And Pluto is very intense, okay? Pluto is a planet ruled Scorpio. This is the approach to intuition that's very direct, very blunt, and very straight to the point. So again, with Pluto in the 12th house, yeah, you could be dealing with some strong spiritual attacks, but I'm telling you, your intuition is just as strong, if not stronger, okay? Because this is your energy. So you're very super intuitive. You can feel people's energies. You can seek them out. You understand people's intentions and motives. And being super intuitive, you can smell, you can seek these energies out. You can tell when bad energy is coming towards you. You can tell when someone has bad intentions. You can see signs, okay? You can pick up signs from reality, okay, letting you know that something bad's happening. It's very psychic, okay? These people can have psychic abilities. Definitely something to understand, because you're gonna have to use this to, you know, fight this spiritual war, okay, that you're dealing with. Also, with Pluto in the 12th house, there's a strong manifestation of depression, okay? When you have lots of Pluto energy, rules depression, okay? Lots of strong negative emotional karma energies coming towards you. You know, wherever Pluto is in your houses, there is a possible manifestation of depression. Especially with Pluto in the 12th house. You're dealing with the 12th house, very emotional. Pluto, very emotional, and bringing all these dark energies. You know, 12th house people, they hold on to emotions. They're so open to them. So you can carry lots of negative energy. With all that negative energy Pluto's tossing you in your 12th house, you can hold on to them. And it can cause lots of, that's what causes depression, all this negative energy, all this negative baggage that you're just holding on to. It could feel like a heavy dark cloud around your head. You need to be aware of these. This is why shadow work is very important, okay? Because of the possible manifestation of depression with Pluto in the 12th house. It's a very very likely that you can have it. But like I said, when you have depression, it's because this type of manifestation is to bring awareness to your dark, deep emotions, okay? Depression is something that has to be dealt with, which leads me to my next point, Pluto in the 12th house. You have to do a lot of shadow work here, a lot of shadow work in healing, okay? And that's going into your dark, deep emotions and feeling them and releasing them and nurturing them. You have to do this, okay? Because again, Pluto in 12th house, you can carry on lots of negative energy, absorb it, take on to it. Pluto's throwing it at you. And because this is like a very subconscious, like loopy house, you can be confused about where all this negative energy is. So you just have so much negative baggage and you don't know what they are, where they're coming from, why you have them. Consciousness is so important. Do the shadow work. Go into your negative emotions and your feelings. Anytime you get triggered, just allow those emotions to come out. What are they saying to you? What are you feeling? What are you hearing? What are the negative thoughts? Why are you healing it? And try your best to comfort and nurture yourself while you're feeling these negative feelings. This is the shadow work you have to do. You gotta get into your negative feelings. You gotta get into those deep, painful emotions and let them out. Okay? If you don't, you're gonna, one, be unaware of them, not understand where they're coming from, why you're not feeling well in the first place, which makes it super hard to heal yourself if you don't even know why you're feeling bad in the first place. And again, it's just gonna be baggage adding up. So it's your karmic duty as a Pluto in 12th house to get deeper and to get into those dark emotions and to release them and to feel them. This is healing, and this is the healing you have to do. Very important, Pluto in 12th house person, because it's a strong manifestation of depression, just like Pluto in the 8th house. So with Pluto in the 12th house, there could be lots of dark secrets, you know, that you have. Pluto deals with hidden knowledge, you know, things that are hidden, you know, things that are taboo, you know. And then you have the 12th house, which is the house of the subconscious. It's where a lot of things are hidden. So Pluto being that dark energy, You can have lots of dark secrets and dark things that you know that you keep hidden. You can have a very secret life, maybe things that you're into that not necessarily bad, but are very taboo, could be very controversial, could be very dark. And you keep it to yourself. You can have lots of dark secrets, you know, things that have happened to you that you may be ashamed of, don't want to talk about, things you want to keep private. Maybe you have a private type of life, an occult stuff that you're into that you keep hidden. Whatever it is, there's definitely lots of secrets, you know, with Pluto in the 12th house. Lots of dark secrets and taboo things that you keep hidden, not for the world to see because of how taboo and how dark it could be. Also, with Pluto in the 12th house, there could be very transformative spirituality. Okay, the 12th house is very spiritual. You know, you could be into very kind of like mystical subjects and stuff like that, such as magic or astrology, or, you know, even things such as like metaphysics, or like, you know, being into the chakras and all those types of mystical studies, or even pseudosciences. But with Pluto here, a lot of your spiritual beliefs, because 12th house is very spiritual, could be transformed and evolved. Okay, Pluto and 12th house people can transform their spirituality and beliefs in a very powerful way. And these people can become very evolved and transform and matured in the subjects that deal with spirituality. Okay, so Pluto is all about experience, okay, and transformation and leveling up. Okay, so a lot of the trauma, a lot of the things that you deal with and go through as a Pluto in 12th house, these things can really, really strengthen you spiritually. Pluto in 12th house people, they have so much depth into spirituality. They've dealt with so much, okay, spiritually. So they have so much depth when it comes to your emotions, your feelings, your subconscious, spiritual things, dreams, all these things. They deal with it in such a deep level. Pluto's the deepest level. So they're dealing with the 12th house in the deepest level you can think of. So there's so much experience and maturity that they have in spirituality. And this is why they can transform so much and even come up with new ideas of spirituality based off of their experiences. They can inspire people and heal people deeply because of their experiences and their trauma that they've been through. They're very transformative, and this can make them strong leaders and powerful people within the spiritual community because of the depths that they go with spirituality and the transformations, the traumas that they've been through. Okay, the best healers are the people who've been through the most, because they have the capabilities of healing because they've been down there. So again, transformative spirituality, these people could be like super spiritual heroes, in the sense that they've dealt with the deepest and the darkest. And it's not only correlates to healing people, but just even information and understanding how spirituality works. When you deal with it in such a deep level, you gain so much knowledge and experience in that you become transformed. You get to teach other people about spirituality and help them and heal them in the deepest ways, because you've learned how to evolve and turn your traumas into your own power. Okay, and that's what Pluto is, and that's what transformation is. You know, you deal with what was once, you know, you're a victim to, you now have transformed and have power over it. So you're no longer a victim to your spirituality, but you're the power to the spirituality. And very powerful spiritual. Pluto and 12th house people have the potential to become so powerful in the spiritual community. I mean, these people can give you information that's so deep and so real. They can heal people. They can deal with the darkest things because they've been there. Their intuition is so deep and strong. They feel people's energies very accurately. You know, Pluto in 12th house, you can really transform your spirituality. These people can really become, you know, these spiritual gurus and these spiritual leaders because of the experience and the power that they have in this house of spirituality. So do not sleep. I know Pluto in 12th house, you can deal with so much spiritual attacks. You could feel like you're cursed, but trust me, the people who are here to do the biggest healings, the people who are here to transform spirituality, they're the ones that are going to deal with the biggest challenges, okay? You people who are meant to do this type of work, you're going to deal with the biggest challenges because you have to be the strongest. You have to be the healers. You have to be the ones to lead the way. So you need strength, you need endurance, and you have to be able to deal with the darkness and the depth of spirituality, of the 12th house. And in order to do that, you got to be brave, you got to be powerful. In order to get into those positions, you have to have the experience. So yes, that means that Pluto and 12th house people, you guys are healers too. Okay, you're not here just to heal yourself. First, you must heal yourself. Like I said, with depression, you must heal yourself and your wounds first. But after, you're here to heal yourself so that you can heal other people. So you're definitely a healer for society, for people's emotions, for people's trauma. And also with Pluto in the 12th house, 12th house deals with our creativity, you know, our imagination. So it's very artistic. And with Pluto here, a lot of Pluto and 12th house people can have a dark approach, okay, to creativity and art. So whether it be poetry, painting, drawing, dancing, you can have a dark approach to these creatives. So make very beautiful dark art. Maybe your poems are very deep and intense. Maybe the colors you use are very dark. Maybe you're painting a picture that is a haunted house. I don't know, you know, but you can have a very dark approach to your creatives and go very in depth. You know, maybe your songwriter and the lyrics you talk about is depression, something very deep. You know, so the creative expression with Pluto in 12th house is very deep and dark. Could be even taboo as well too. So definitely be mindful of this. Pluto also rules sexuality. So if you pull Pluto, which deals with sex, and you put it in the 12th house, Pluto in 12th house can also deal with Pluto in the 12th house can also deal with sexual relationships with spirits. And I know that sounds very weird, but the 12th house gets very, very mystical. It gets very weird like that, and it deals with spirituality, but also ghosts and spirits and energies that aren't even like tangible, like practical and tangible and physical. So Pluto ruling sex, you can have sex with spirits as well too. Okay, so that could be a weird thing that deals with Pluto in 12th house too. Just a little weird fun fact, but that is Pluto in the 12th house. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. This is a very, very deep placement. Like I said, you have to do lots of shadow work here. You have to be a healer. You know, I feel like it's your karmic duty as a Pluto in 12th house to deal with depression and get in there and heal it and bring your dark emotions, bring awareness to them, bring them out. So very challenging placement, but comes with so much rewards. And like I said, there's no challenge God gives you that you can't overcome. So Pluto in 12th house, very, very big deal. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's Pluto in 12th house. And if you did, you could book a reading with me. I do birth natal chart astro readings. All you have to do is email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com, samastroreadings@gmail.com. I also do a bonus tarot as well too. So you could definitely check me out there. And I'll be back with the next video. Okay, so I'll check you guys out on the next video.